Do you ever find yourself just not feeling like going out as much these days? Do social gatherings, even with people you genuinely care about, feel a bit more tiring than they used to? It's a question many of us quietly ponder as we navigate our later years. Maybe you find yourself declining invitations more often, preferring the quiet comfort of your own home, a good book, or simply your own thoughts. It's a subtle shift, sometimes accompanied by a tiny pang of guilt or confusion. You might wonder if you're becoming antisocial, or if something is wrong. But what if I told you there are deep, powerful psychological reasons for this shift? Reasons that are entirely normal, even healthy, and perfectly explain why many of us naturally seek more solitude as we get older. In this video, we're going to explore 6 profound psychological reasons why you might be avoiding people more as you age. Understanding these reasons can bring immense comfort, help us navigate our social lives with more grace, and even strengthen the connections that truly matter in ways you might not expect. Make sure you watch right to the very end, because I've got something to share that might truly surprise you and change how you think about your social life. Let's dive right into the first of these fascinating reasons why we might find ourselves naturally gravitating towards less large group interaction and more quiet time. The first reason is what psychologists call socio-emotional selectivity theory. Now, don't let the fancy name scare you. It simply means that as we age, our perception of time shifts. When we're young, time feels endless, like an open road stretching far into the horizon. We're eager to explore, to meet new people, to experience everything. We collect acquaintances, join many groups, and our social circles might be incredibly wide. But as we get older, and we gain the wisdom that comes with experience, our perspective on time changes. We begin to see time not as infinite, but as precious and finite. We understand that our days are valuable, and this leads us to become much more selective about how we spend them and, more importantly, with whom we spend them. We naturally begin to prioritize emotional meaning. This means that instead of spreading our energy across a broad network of acquaintances, we start to focus intensely on the relationships that truly nourish our souls, the ones that bring us genuine joy, comfort, and deep understanding. We become less interested in superficial connections, in small talk that doesn't go anywhere, or in social obligations that feel draining rather than uplifting. Think about it, a younger person might feel compelled to attend every networking event, every distant cousin's wedding, or every casual get-together. But as we age, we find ourselves asking, does this truly add value to my life? Will this interaction bring me genuine connection or joy? If the answer isn't a resounding yes, we're far more likely to politely decline, not out of malice, but out of a profound wisdom about how to best steward our emotional energy and limited time. We crave depth, authenticity, and shared history. We'd rather have one meaningful conversation with a trusted friend than an evening of polite chatter with 20 people we barely know. This isn't avoiding people. It's selecting people with a profound sense of purpose and emotional wisdom. It's like pruning a beautiful garden. You remove the parts that are no longer serving the plant, so the cherished blooms can thrive even more beautifully. Our social gardens become more concentrated, more vibrant, and more deeply satisfying, flowing from this wisdom of selective investment. Our second reason for seeking more solitude as we age is simply energy conservation and a reduced social battery. Let's be honest, social interaction, especially in large groups, can be incredibly demanding. It requires a lot of cognitive and emotional effort. Think about keeping up with multiple conversations at once, remembering names, interpreting social cues, responding appropriately, and managing the general sensory input of a bustling environment. It's a lot of work as we get older. Our physical and mental energy reserves may naturally decrease. Our bodies might not recover as quickly, and our minds might simply tire out faster from intense stimulation. What used to feel invigorating in our 20s or 30s might now feel utterly exhausting. You might find yourself coming home from a lively family gathering or a busy afternoon out feeling completely drained, needing hours or even a full day to recover. This isn't a sign of weakness. It's a natural physiological reality. Our social battery simply doesn't hold the same charge, or it depletes much faster than it once did. Recognizing this allows us to be kinder to ourselves, instead of pushing through the exhaustion and ending up feeling irritable or resentful. We learn to honor our limits. This might mean saying yes to fewer events, choosing shorter visits, or opting for one-on-one interactions over crowded parties. It's about being mindful of our personal energy levels and making choices that support our well-being rather than depleting it. Prioritizing rest and quiet time isn't a luxury. It becomes a necessity for maintaining our overall health and happiness. We learn that it's perfectly okay to sometimes choose a quiet evening with a cup of tea and a good book over a bustling social event, simply because we know what our bodies and minds truly need to feel rested and content. It's a form of self-care that becomes increasingly vital as we age, allowing us to be more present and truly enjoy the social interactions we do choose to engage in. Continuing our journey into understanding why we might prefer a quieter pace, let's explore another profound reason: increased self-awareness and authenticity. With age comes a deeper, richer understanding of ourselves, our core values, and what truly brings us genuine joy and fulfillment. The younger versions of ourselves often spent a lot of energy trying to fit in, to impress others, or to conform to societal expectations. We might have attended events or maintained relationships out of obligation, fear of missing out, or a desire to be perceived in a certain way. But as we mature, those pressures tend to fade. We shed the need for external validation, the desire to keep up appearances, or the compulsion to engage in superficial interactions that don't genuinely resonate with who we are. We become more comfortable in our own skin, more confident in our opinions, and more accepting of our quirks. This growing authenticity means we have a lower tolerance for interactions that feel inauthentic, draining, or that require us to put on a social mask. Why waste precious energy pretending to be someone we're not, or engaging in conversations that feel hollow, when we could be truly ourselves? This increased self-awareness means we naturally gravitate towards people and situations where we can be completely genuine. Without judgment or pretense, we seek out company that allows us to be fully ourselves, quirks and all. And we gently distance ourselves from those relationships that require too much effort to maintain a facade. This isn't avoidance. It's a powerful act of self-respect and self-preservation. It means our social connections, though potentially fewer in number, are often far richer and more deeply satisfying because they are built on a foundation of genuine acceptance and shared understanding. We're no longer collecting friends. We're cultivating soul connections. This shift empowers us to live more truthfully, finding peace in our authentic selves, and inviting only those who truly appreciate that truth into our inner circle. Next up, a fourth significant reason, and one that resonates deeply with many: decreased tolerance for conflict and drama. Life, with all its ups and downs, teaches us profound lessons. By the time we reach our later years, most of us have experienced a fair share of conflict, negativity, and emotional drama. We've learned the toll it takes on our mental and physical well-being. And with that hard-earned wisdom comes a natural inclination to protect our peace and tranquility. We simply have a much lower tolerance for situations or people that bring stress, negativity, or unnecessary friction into our lives. We've come to value harmony and calm above almost everything else. This might mean politely excusing ourselves from discussions that typically devolve into arguments, or choosing not to engage with individuals who consistently bring a negative or critical energy to every interaction. It's not about avoiding challenges or difficult conversations entirely, especially with those we love and trust, but it's about discerning which battles are truly worth fighting and which are simply draining diversions. We'd rather spend our precious moments in environments that uplift and support us, rather than those that leave us feeling emotionally exhausted or exasperated. This desire for peace leads many of us to curate our social environments carefully, opting for relationships and gatherings that foster warmth, understanding, and positive energy. We understand that our emotional health is paramount, and sometimes the kindest thing we can do for ourselves is to create gentle boundaries that protect our inner calm. It's about choosing serenity over chaos, and that often means less exposure to situations prone to drama. Our fifth psychological reason ties directly into how our minds process the world: cognitive changes and processing speed. While wisdom and experience undeniably grow with age, some specific cognitive functions, such as our processing speed, might naturally slow down. This isn't a deficit, simply a different pace. Think about trying to follow multiple conversations simultaneously in a noisy restaurant, or engaging in rapid-fire banter within a large group, when our processing speed isn't as quick as it once was. These kinds of high-sensory, fast-paced social environments can become genuinely overwhelming and exhausting. It can feel like trying to catch raindrops with a sieve. It becomes harder to follow every thread of conversation, to grasp nuances, or to formulate quick responses, which can lead to feelings of fatigue or even frustration. It's not that we don't want to engage. It's that the effort required to engage in such settings becomes disproportionately high compared to the enjoyment derived. This can inadvertently lead to social fatigue or a subconscious avoidance of situations that demand intense cognitive effort in a noisy setting. So, instead of feeling less capable, we naturally gravitate towards social settings that are more conducive to relaxed conversation and easier processing. We might prefer one-on-one chats, smaller group gatherings in quieter environments, or even communicating through letters or slower forms of connection where we have time to process and respond thoughtfully. This isn't about avoiding people. It's about optimizing our social interactions so that we can truly enjoy them without feeling overwhelmed or constantly playing catch-up. It's a wise adaptation, allowing us to maintain meaningful connections in ways that honor our natural cognitive rhythms. Finally, the sixth reason why many of us embrace more solitude as we age is the profound comfort and joy of solitude. For many people, solitude in later life isn't a void to be filled, but a cherished space for deep comfort, personal reflection, and genuine rejuvenation. It's important to distinguish this from loneliness. Loneliness is a painful feeling of isolation and a desire for connection that isn't being met. Solitude, on the other hand, is a chosen state, a wellspring of personal well-being. It's about enjoying your own company, finding peace in quiet moments, and having uninterrupted time for hobbies, contemplation, and self-care. After decades of bustling family life, demanding careers, and constant social obligations, the ability to simply be with oneself, without external demands, becomes incredibly liberating. Many seniors discover or rediscover passions they put aside years ago, perhaps reading, gardening, painting, writing, or simply enjoying nature. These activities thrive in solitude. We learn to truly appreciate the quiet moments, the opportunity to reflect on life's journey, to process emotions, or simply to rest without interruption. The joy of a quiet morning with a cup of tea, watching the birds, or losing yourself in a captivating story becomes a deeply satisfying part of daily life. This isn't about avoiding people, but about embracing a rich inner life. It's about recognizing that our own company can be incredibly fulfilling, and that nurturing our inner world is just as vital as nurturing our external relationships. It provides a deep sense of contentment and allows us to recharge, so that when we do engage socially, we bring our best, most rested, and most authentic selves to those interactions. We've walked through 6 profound reasons why you might find yourself gravitating towards more personal space as you gracefully navigate your later years. It's about wisely choosing where to spend your precious time and energy, protecting your peace, finding comfort in who you truly are, adapting to how your mind processes the world, and discovering the rich tapestry of joy that can be found in your own company. Remember, this shift isn't a sign of social decline, a flaw to be fixed, or a problem to be solved. Far from it. It's often a profound sign of wisdom, self-awareness, and a natural, healthy evolution of your needs and desires. It's about optimizing your life for greater contentment, less stress, and more genuine fulfillment. Embrace this understanding and let it free you from any lingering guilt or confusion you might have felt about your changing social inclinations. And here's that surprise I promised you. While we've talked about what might look like avoiding people, the real secret isn't about retreating into complete isolation or severing all ties. It's about refining connection and making it deeper. When you understand these natural psychological shifts, you're not just pulling back, You're creating intentional space for the connections that truly nourish your soul. The surprise is that this natural desire for more solitude often leads to deeper, richer, and more authentic relationships with the few people who genuinely matter to you, making your social life not less, but more fulfilling than ever before. You become more present and appreciative during those chosen interactions because you've honored your need for rest and authenticity. When you say yes, it's a truly resounding yes from a place of genuine desire, not obligation. This means the time you spend with loved ones becomes infused with greater quality, meaning, and joy for everyone involved. It's not about absence. It's about intentional presence. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Have you noticed these shifts in your own life? What resonates most with you from what we've discussed today? Share your experiences and wisdom in the comments below. Your insights are so valuable to this growing community, and reading them often brings comfort and understanding to others who feel the same way. If this video has brought you some clarity, comfort, or a new perspective, please give it a thumbs up. Your support truly helps us reach more people who might benefit from this message. And if you'd like more content like this, exploring the beautiful journey of aging with wisdom, grace, and practical insights for a happier, more fulfilling life, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our future videos. You are embarking on a magnificent chapter of life, one where you get to truly define what happiness and connection mean to you. Embrace your journey, celebrate your wisdom, and live your best life at every age.